Hey everybody, Darren Kidd here. Thanks for stopping by my channel. On this channel, we give you weekly content to help you succeed now in your network marketing business. I've been in this industry for over 25 years, multiple seven-figure earner, and been blessed to have a lot of success in the industry, but it wasn't always like that. Matter of fact, for 7 years, I struggled. Got to the point I said I'll never do it again. I was actually a member of the NFL, the No Friends Left Club. I ended up bankrupt, government assistance, car repossessed, living in a small town, felt like a failure in life when I couldn't even support my family. But very thankful that I had the right mentors that came into my life that taught me exactly what to do, that have led me to hundreds of recruits in this industry, personal recruits, and to with you 5 tips on what I did when I actually went out and recruited 10 people in just 10 days. So let's start with number one. Number one, it's understanding that recruiting is a process. It's not an event. Okay, this is a relationship business. So you're not going to go out and go, look, I want to recruit 10 people the next 10 days. You've got to give it some time, because right now we're getting paid on what we did 90 days ago. 90 days from now, we'll be getting paid on what we do now. You have to fill your funnel and understand it does take some time. And if you think about a garden, we don't go out, you wouldn't plant a garden today and then show back up tomorrow and go, where's my harvest, right? That would be silly. We know we have to plant the seeds, and we know that if we plant a few seeds, at the least, we're only going to get a few crops. Or you can plant a lot of seeds, you're still going to lose some, but you're going to have a bigger harvest. You cultivate the ground, you water the seeds, then you reap your harvest. The same thing happens when it comes to network marketing, when it comes to recruiting. You have to plant your seeds, you have to water your seeds, but it is a relationship. It does take some time. What you want your prospect to actually recruit themselves when the timing is right. Number 2, don't prejudge. When I got into this industry, I made the mistake time and time again of making a list of who I thought may be interested. Doesn't work. People that I thought would be interested were not. Then there were people I go, no way, they would never be interested. They were. And then a lot of times it's not the people that we introduce to the business, it's who they lead us to, right? The duds can lead us to the studs or the studettes. So you want to make a list of people that you know, care about, trust, respect, and then you just share the information. Don't prejudge. It's like if we opened up a sushi franchise and you go, well, I know I have a lot of friends of maybe that don't like sushi. It doesn't matter. You still want them to know you have the franchise, because they're going to know people that do like it. So number 2, absolutely do not prejudge. You're not selling, you're not recruiting. All you're going to do is share with them what you're doing. Number 3, remember it is a numbers game. I remember hearing Jim Rohn say we can make up in numbers what we lacked in skill, and that like took the weight off my shoulders, because when he explained that, listen, you could be so bad that you only get 1 out of 10. And maybe we have someone else that is so good, they get 9 out of 10 people they talk to. We can still beat them. They go talk to 10 people, they get 9. We talk to 100, we get 10. So it is a numbers game. So when I went through that recruiting run and I went out and I go, look, I'm going to go out and recruit and take my business to the next level. Anytime I do this, I understand it's just numbers. I understand that my goal is to say less to more people. And the way that I do that is I use third-party tools. What is a third-party tool? It's something else that does a presentation for me. Maybe it's a website, a magazine, a DVD, a conference call, a webinar, anything that allows me to be the commercial and just gets them to watch the movie. So let's say when I was going through that recruiting run, or now when I go through a recruiting run, I only get 1 out of 10 people. And your numbers, you'll learn your numbers, and your numbers will get better over a period of time. But let's say I'm only getting 1 out of 10. That means that I need 100 people to review information to get those 10 recruits. So maybe I'm calling 40, 50 people to get 10 commitments. And then once I get back with those people and I go through the process, I'm getting 1 out of 10. So it's very simple. Once you learn your numbers, it's just a matter of how fast you really want to move. But when going through the numbers game, a couple points that I like for you to remember: it is a numbers game. Third party is always better than first party. Okay, you want to take the pressure off of you. Say less to more people. Instead of us begging that one friend that we know needs it for 30 minutes, but they don't want it, Why not spend 3 minutes with 10 people and look for the one that is looking, that says, look, thank God you gave this to me. What took you so long? Where have you been? Okay, so you're say less to more people. Amateurs convince, professionals sort. So if you're going to go on a recruiting run to go build your business, you don't really have time to convince anyone. So those are some of the key tips when I was going on my run. Understanding it is a numbers game. And the more numbers you work, the better you're going to be. You're going to get into a rhythm, and then you're also filling your funnel. So as you continue to fill that funnel, what's going to happen is you're always going to have people that are calling you up going, listen, I want to become a customer, I want to join your business, or they want to do both. But it is a numbers game. Number 4, as you're going through the numbers, remember the fortune is in the immediate follow-up. You've got to have a sense of urgency. You have to strike while the iron is hot, while their emotions are still involved. So if I'm talking to you and I go, listen, I'm excited about something, I'd love for you to take a look at it. It may or may not be for you. Okay, whatever you're saying to those people, maybe I'm listening to what you're saying, which is key. And you go, I would love more time with my family. I cannot stand my job. I would love to retire my spouse. We want to change zip codes. I want to give more to my church or charity. All I do is I just listen and I remind you of what you said and go, were you serious when you said you wanted more time with your family, or were you joking? And they go, no, I was serious. Well, look, I don't know if what I'm doing is for you or not, but I'm really excited about it. I get you the information. The fortune is in the immediate follow-up. What I try to do is set a time to follow back up with you of when you're going to look at it. I go, listen, if I give this to you tonight, if I give you this magazine, would you look at it tonight? We grab coffee in the morning. If I send you a text message with a short video, would you look at it? And I'll call you back in 10 minutes. So I try to strike while the iron is hot, knowing that it takes 5 to 8 exposures. Remember, we talked about recruiting as a process. It's not an event. So my goal is to take you from exposure to exposure to exposure until you recruit or sell yourself. It's pretty simple. How do I follow up? What do you say? You know, I don't get caught up in all the verbiage. Here's the best thing I've learned to say when I follow up. Hey, did you get a chance to look at it? Great. What caught your attention most? Was the product, business, or a little bit of both? Because either one, we win, right? The product, the business, or both. No matter what they say, I go, that's one of the best parts, because it is. What did you like best about what you saw? I don't say, what do you think? That's like saying, what do you think about the election? What do you think about this? That's just an open-ended road that you don't want to go down. So what did you like best? Product, business, or both? What caught your attention the most? Something very simple, but knowing that I'm going to take them through exposure to exposure, and then when the timing's right, they'll sell or recruit themselves. And no doesn't even mean no. I've had people go, no, I'm not interested. All I ask them is this: hey, listen, do you mind if I keep you posted on how I'm doing? Or do you mind if I update you every now and then on how things are going? Sure. 6 months later, maybe they had a pay raise, they love their job, life is great. 6 months later, they got a pay cut, they have a new manager they can't stand, they want to put their kids in a private school. No doesn't mean no, it means not now. So as you're going through the exposure process, as you're going through the numbers, I never take them off my list unless they make me mad or I don't want to work with them, right? I used to want to try to get people in my business. Now I decide if I want to let people in my business, and I continue to follow up, take them from exposure to exposure until they recruit or sell themselves. Hope that makes sense. The fortune is in the immediate follow-up. And last but not least, tip number 5, work with the willing. One thing, if you're going on a recruiting run, you're ready to take your business to the next level, you're ready to explode out of the mud. That's the great thing about this industry. No matter where you are right now, you could have been in your company for 2 years, 3 years, it doesn't matter. And you go, listen, on this day, I saw this video and something clicked. And let me tell you what happened the next 90 days. But when I was going through that, when I do go through that now, I'm working with the willing. You work with the willing. Some will, some won't, so what? Next, somebody else is waiting. It's easier to run with 1,000 people than drag one dead body, right? It's easier to give birth than raise the dead. Don't look back unless you want to go that way. So you're going through the numbers, you're following up, and then you're locking arms and you're walking with the walkers and you're running with the runners. So those are 5 key tips. Some of you may say, that is so simple. How could he go out there and do those simple things? Because it is simple. And when you do the simple things and you do them day after day after day, and you understand it's a numbers game and you a shorter period of time. And I believe it's easier to build your business fast than it is to build your business slow. Not too many people want to go run a marathon, but if you give them something, go, listen, if you want to sprint, we can help you explode to the next level. They're ready to do that. And with that energy and excitement that's in your voice and the new stories of people that you're bringing on board, you're going to find that it starts to compound and it grows even faster. It's like a snowball. If you get in front of it when it's rolling down a hill, eventually if you get in front of it, you become a part of it and it continues to snowball bigger and bigger and bigger. Question of the day. What's the
All right, guys. I love Darren Kidd. Let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen. Welcome, everybody. I just wanted to play that video while we were waiting for everybody to get into the meeting room. Welcome to our first EE Legacies team building class. I am super excited to be the host. Again, my name is Amy Cabrerra. And let me hear it in the chat box. What was your takeaway from what you just heard from Darren Kidd? Give me one takeaway that you just heard from Darren Kidd. Go ahead and put it in the chat box, you guys. While you guys are thinking about that, I'll tell you my takeaway was the not judging, right? Don't prejudge. That's a big deal because so many of us want to go, oh, I don't know if they'll be interested. I don't want them to be mad at me. I don't want them to think of me a certain way. I don't want them to whatever, right? I don't want them to, and then we put in this negative comment there. There's no way that you are going to build a legacy if you are putting that negative mindset already in your mind. So that's first and foremost, right? We got to get rid of that. So that was my takeaway. Sarah says it's just a number game. Daphne agrees with me. Don't prejudge, right? Those are all really, really good tips, you guys. And I want you, I would strongly suggest to go follow Darren Kidd. I actually follow him a lot. He's very smart in how he talks about recruiting and how he talks about team building. Really, I personally call it team building, not so much recruiting, because I feel like a recruiter just kind of gets you in and throws their hands up. I feel like we're all team builders and we say we get you in and then support you, right? And make sure that you're going to follow the right path and all of that stuff. So let's talk about a couple of things today, you guys. Let me go ahead and close this out. First of all, everybody should be on the EE Legacies website. Okay, Amy Peterson went over it yesterday. Everybody should be in the member area. Okay, this is going to be kind of like your Bible for right now, so to speak. Okay, if you have been inside Epic, let's say since pre-launch, since September, or maybe you joined us October 1st or somewhere in October, right? And you kind of feel like your business is stagnant, I really want to encourage you all to actually go into the 24-hour game plan, okay? Just basically restart your business. The amazing part about running your own business is you can start it as many times as you want to. There's absolutely no limit, right? So how would one launch their business all over again, pre-launch their business? I actually just redid it. For those of you who don't know, I was actually pretty sick at the beginning of the month, so I kind of was out of it for about 2 weeks. Didn't do anything with the business. I'm so mad at myself for letting it go on pause and all that stuff, right? So I'm like, okay, I need a relaunch. I need to do something that's actually going to project my business forward, right? So one of the things that I did was I first of all started using the product. I started trading. What is our product, right? It's trading. It's the education of trading, so that I could get proof, so I could be the product of the product. And I share my results. I'm actually gonna pull them up right now. I share my results on my stories on Instagram, on Facebook. I'm constantly, you have to use a disclaimer if you're doing income claims, but I'm constantly showing people like, hey, I know you just got laid off, but y'all, I'm making $157 today from my phone, right? This is probably going to replace their income on what they would make going to clock in and clock out. That right there is already powerful. So you get people contacting you, right? So first of all, be the product of the product. Now, even if you're on a demo account, that's okay. When you're ready, go ahead and rip that Band-Aid and get to trading, right? So that you can actually show real stories. If you don't have a story, heck, share mine. Oh my gosh, we have a girl in our organization. She actually made $153 today from her phone, right? She made $200 yesterday. I mean, that's a legitimate story. So you're always welcome to use, me as an example. So, anytime that you need to, or any of us, right, that give permission. So create stories, be the product of the product. What's another way that you can relaunch your business? Okay, you want to create that interest. You guys know that we have the social media Telegram. Make sure that when you're doing posts, you share them in there so that we can help you boost your algorithms. But I actually went live today. If you guys follow me on Facebook, I actually went live today, and I kind of went into a bit of a motivational speech, and then I went into, how everybody is stuck in this hamster wheel of clocking in and clocking out and then being let go from their job, right? Because that's very relevant today. And I said, I'm trying to show you all a way that's different, but everybody has a closed mind and nobody wants to hear me. And here I am, about $500 a month away from creating a six-figure income for our household from our home. That right there is already powerful, right? So what can you do? You can go live. You can be the product of the product. Now, here's another very simple thing that you can do. Darren Kidd actually said it in the video, right? And I want everybody to have their notebooks right now. Everybody should be taking notes, okay? Make sure you're writing it down. Don't just depend on the recording. Actually write it down, okay? I want you to start building relationships. Now, how do we do that? Okay. First of all of you should have the 24-hour game plan, okay? And remember, we've already established that we are not going to prejudge. That's out the window. We're not going to say, I think this person is going to be mad at me if I share this business with them. I think this person isn't going to like it, or whatever the case. That's already gone. Take that negativity and throw it away, okay? We got to fill our head with positivity, because the mind is a very powerful thing, right? And then I want you guys to go into the 24-hour game plan. That's this right here. And scroll down. First of all, everybody should have a goal. What is your goal over the next 7 days? Put it in the chat box. I want to hear it. What is your goal for the next 7 days? Put it in the chat box. Is it to get a free account? Is it to become Founder 500, Founder 1000? What is in the next week, what do you want to accomplish? All right, Sheila said Founder 1000. I love it. Founder 1000 for Cheryl as well. Okay, cool. Perfect. Okay, now how are you going to accomplish that, right? Founder 500 for Salah. We have Sarah, Founder 5000, Founder 2000 for Alicia, a live account. I love it, Lindsay. Exactly. We're going to get you on that today, right? Founder 1000 for Miss Kathy, right? So we all need to have our goals in mind, and we all need to have a plan of action to get there. Okay. So do more demos and practice. Yes, practicing is good for sure. And so here's what I want you guys to do. For all of you guys who want to rank up, okay, you need to print this out and actually write the list. The worst thing that you can do is actually look at this and go, yeah, that looks good, and then scroll past it or skim read. Stop doing that, you guys. Use these materials for what they are for. Print this out and write it down. Or if you don't have a printer, then get a piece of paper and draw out your own grid and write down the names. Get your list together. I love it, Tony. Help someone else hit a rank, right? Because that's the other part of team building that to me is the most fulfilling. When you help other people change the trajectory of their lives, man, those leaders on the line, tell me if that's not like the most fulfilling thing that you've ever had in your life. That to me is amazing. I love that part. So, okay, so build your list. So let's go ahead and start. Yes, best feeling ever. Let's go ahead and start doing that right now. Okay. Everybody have their pens out. Give me a yes in the chat box. I want your pens and your notebooks ready. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, cool. All right, so we're going to do this exercise together, okay? Feels better than myself. Love seeing others prosper in their dreams, right? I know. I'm telling you, I love it. Okay, cool. So first one, if you were stranded, who would you call? These are your like ride or die people, okay? Who would you call? Go ahead and write at minimum 3 names down. If you can fill out the 5, then fantastic. Let's go ahead and write them down. I'll give you guys about 60 seconds to, these should be quick right off the top of your head, okay? Everybody got it? Okay, cool. Give me a 1 in the chat box when you're done. Okay, so that way I can kind of see where you guys are at. All right, awesome. Y'all are fast. I love it. Okay, your next one, your close friends. Who are your close friends? Who do you go hang out with? Who do you go to a bar with, or maybe it's, I don't know, you go to the mall with. Who is that? Maybe it's people that you vacation with, whatever the case may be. Go ahead and write down another 3 to 5 names on that and put a 2 in the chat box when you are done. Okay, cool. Perfect. Got a couple people done. All right, awesome. Okay, moving on. Your relative, I don't think that's spelled right, but your relative, name 5 relatives that are not on your previous list. Go ahead and write them down. Yeah, I was like, we'll have to tell the editor of the website. No worries. Okay, so the next one is your relative. Type a 3 in the chat box when you are done with that one. Okay, relatives, your aunties, your uncles. If y'all are Filipino or Hispanic, I know you got a big list, okay? There's no reason why you shouldn't. I know from on my end we do for sure, okay? You ran out of people. Let's see. How about people who own a home? Okay, you guys are done with the 3. Now, people who own a home, let's write it down. So give me a 4 in the chat box when you guys are done with that. People who own a home. Yep. Start thinking, start putting your thinking cap on, right? It could be your parents' friends. It could be your auntie's friends. It could be whomever, right? It can be anybody that you know that owns a home. Okay, who do you know that owns a home? Is it your neighbors, right? Do they own their home? I don't know. This is where we're going to get out of our comfort zone, right? So give me a 4 in the chat box when we're done with that one. All right, perfect. Okay, moving on. People who have kids, and no, you cannot write my name down. I have 5. Okay, but who else do you know that has kids? Okay, or maybe is going to have a child or something like that, right? People who have kids, go ahead and write down another 5 names. Hopefully you guys can't hear my kids screaming. All right, give me a 5 in the chat box when you guys are done with people who have kids. Oh. Sorry, somehow I covered my participants' little box and missed that. Okay, so people who have kids, 5 in the chat box when you guys are done, okay? Perfect. Salah's done, Cheryl's done. I think there was a few other people. Okay, cool. All right, next one, another 5 names. People over the age of 25. You cannot put them down twice if they are 50, okay? You actually have to know people over the age of 25. 5 people, okay? Give me a 6 in the chat box when you are done with that. Cheryl, see? I know, right? Kathy, you're quick. All right, 6 in the chat box when you guys are done with that. Perfect. Gabby, you're funny. Okay, people who are married, okay? People who are married. 5 people who are married. Give me a 7 in the chat box when you guys are done with that. Give me a 7 in the chat box when you guys are done with that. Okay, people who are married. Seem to be a tougher one, huh? Right? Hey, I did it twice, Kathy. The second one actually worked out. All right, cool. Awesome. Perfect, perfect. And then last but not least, people who make $40,000 to $80,000 a year. You know what's funny, Kathy, is I had given up completely, and then here comes, Justin, and he's like, hey, knock, knock, you're going to give it another try. All right, people who make $40,000 to $80,000 a year. He does, but he's like 18 or something. So Alicia, this is going to be on our EE Legacy website. That is eelegacies.com. And you sign in under member login, and the password is all caps, which is epic. And from there, you're going to click on the 24-hour game plan, and that's where this is. Okay. The number we are on is, I'll tell you right now, maybe. 681-442-9988. Oh, 8. Sorry, totally misunderstood. Y'all, it's been a long day. Okay. It's been a long day. So number 8, when you guys are done with this one, number 8. Thank you, Kathy. Number 8. Okay. 8 when you're done. I thought you meant the Zoom number. It's been a really long day, telling you. All right, cool. So guess what? Y'all just created a list of 40 names. 40 names in, I timed it, 8 minutes. 8 minutes, you guys. Seriously, let's think about this, okay? The website is eelegacies.com. It's this website, okay? And it's the 24-hour game plan right here. So in 8 minutes, we were able to create a list of 40 people. That's 40 leads that you now have. Now, what are we going to do with this? Okay. Are you going to straight up off the bat go, hey, do you want to join my business? No, you're going to have people go, no, that's weird. Right. And they're out. You want to start building a relationship. You want them to know what you're doing. Do you have them on social media? Are they following what you're doing? Can they relate to you? You should always make sure that your social media is not always all about business, okay? It shouldn't always be about recruiting people on your personal page. You should always have a balance on what you're doing on your social media. So do you look like a real person? Can they see that you actually have a real life? Do they see your struggles? Do they see your success on social media, right? What is your audience looking at? Think about it. You have an audience on social media. Use that to your power, okay? So if you don't have them on social media, get them on social media. If they don't have social media, then get them in a text message. Give them a call. Hey, Kathy, I haven't talked to you in a while. How is everything, right? Something that simple to just make that connection. So I'm going to challenge all of you to message 20 out of the 40 people either tonight. If you're on the East Coast, then obviously you're going to wait until the morning because it may be kind of late. But if you're on the West Coast, you have time. It's 5:30 right now, okay? message 20 out of the 40 people, personally message and just say, hey, so-and-so, haven't talked to you in a while. How are you? Get that engagement going, right? Here's the other thing. After you do the initial message, this is one of the most powerful things, okay, in network marketing and building relationships. Use the voice message, especially on Facebook. I'm gonna repeat that. Everybody should write this down. Use the voice message, especially on Facebook. Don't just text, okay? Why is it that we want to use that? That actually becomes more relatable. It is human nature to actually connect with people via their voice or via looking at them, right? We actually can feel a little bit more and connect with them better if we are hearing their voice, okay? So that is 100% probably the best advice that I can give you guys is stop just sending text message. Y'all ever read a text message and you're like, I don't know what they mean by that. And then maybe you take it the wrong way or they take it the wrong way, right? Because there's no real emotion in a text, but a voice message, and I don't mean like a voice to text, okay? I mean an actual voice recording of your voice, right? You want to utilize that to make that connection with people. So now let's play this out, okay? Right, they will also send you a voice message back. Yeah, it's really incredible. And it's funny because I'm like, why don't we just pick up the phone? But for some reason, that's like the magic that starts to happen, right? And then eventually you can get them on the phone. It's easier to get them on the phone once you have used that voice message recording system, okay? So here's how this is going to play out. Hey, Kathy, how are you? I'm good. How are you? Voice recording. I'm good. You know what? I was just checking in. I haven't heard from you in a while. Kind of seeing what you're up to. That's it. Start a conversation. It doesn't have to be super complicated. It doesn't have to be the, hey, I haven't heard from you in a while, but I was wondering if you were interested in what I'm doing and I'm running a business and I want to know if you want to hear the opportunity. That's weird. Don't do that. Okay. You want to start a conversation and build a relationship as a friendship, as a relative, whatever the case may be, right? The minute that they ask you, what have you been up to? That's an open door, right? I've actually been pretty busy. I'm running this business. I'm learning how to trade in the currency industry, foreign exchange market. It's been really incredible. Have you seen what I've been posting lately? Something like that, right? Have you seen my results? I don't care what it is. Pique that interest. But just like Darren Kidd said, be the commercial. Do not be the actual presentation. Be the commercial. Less is best. Get good at inviting. Become the master inviter. Okay. So once they ask, well, what is that? Actually, I did see it, but I didn't know what it was. That's when you can say, you know what, actually, we're having a meeting. It's tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'd love for you to come just learn about it. You don't worry, hide your wallet. You don't have to, buy anything or anything like that, but I would love for you to actually know what I'm doing. Maybe it can help you. You know what I mean? Something as simple as that. It doesn't have to be, do you want to join my team? My husband had some good ones when he first started with the team building side. I was like, what are you doing? But he was overcomplicating it, right? And I feel like a lot of us do because we feel like we have to do vomit of the brain. How many of you guys feel like that? Like I have to brain vomit in order to get them to the meeting. I have to tell them everything all about it in order to even get them there, right? Yeah, how many, if you guys ever felt that way, go ahead and give me a 1 in the chat box if that's been you. If you have felt like you just kind of ramble on and then all of a sudden you're like, oops, I said too much. And then they do what? They ghost you. You don't hear from them. They don't attend the meeting. And you're like, hello, knock, knock, are you there? Right? Stop doing that. Stop. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Okay. telling you, besides the voice messaging, that's the next point that I'm going to make is keep it simple. The more simple that you keep it, the better off you are. I'll tell you, you guys know that I'm on the travel side as well. And one of the best ways that I actually invite people to our webinar there is I just say, hey, how are you? And they say, great, how are you? I'm interested in what you're doing. Fantastic. There's actually a meeting today at blah, 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 blah time. I'd like to, if you'd like, I can reserve a spot for you. Let me see if we have any availability. Would you like to grab a spot if we do? They say, yes, great, let me check. Boom, I check. Perfect, there is a spot available for you. I'm not really checking, right? Because we technically do max out on Zoom, but I'm just creating that sense of urgency and having that posture, which is really, really important, right? And then I say, looks like we do have a spot. Fantastic. I would love to get you set up for an appointment. What is your name what is your email address and phone number so I can send you the reminder or I can send you the confirmation, whatever the case may be. That's all I'm doing. It's a very simple process, right? And once you get them over to the meeting that we have, and you guys, we're having 2 a day. There is one tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys start engaging in conversation and you're able to get people over to the meeting tonight, you're already one up for today, right? So getting them over to the webinar, letting the webinar do what it needs to do. Then what? The power of the follow-up. Now, please do not mess this up, okay? You guys, I've seen this messed up so many times. Don't mess this up. Just like Darren Kidd said, keep it simple, okay? Keep it super simple. The only thing that I say after a meeting, after a webinar, is I say, what did you like best? Thank you for attending. What did you like best about what you saw? What was your favorite part? Something of that nature, right? Because you want to make sure that you are engaging in this conversation in a positive manner. If you say, what did you think? What did you think? They can then turn around and spin it in a negative manner. So you always want to keep it positive, right? Positivity is key in this game. I'm telling you guys, keep it positive, okay? The worst thing you can do, and my husband did this when he first started team building, the worst thing you can do is say, thank you for your time. And that's it. I remember the first time he did, he's going to be so mad at me that I'm calling him out and that it's recorded. But the first time he did it, I looked at his text message. He's like, well, she didn't respond. I'm like, okay, what did you say? And I grabbed his phone and I was like, what did you do? Why is that the first thing you said? Right? Thank you for your time. You literally just slammed that door shut and you're like, thanks for your time. Boom. What? Don't do that. Okay. What did you like best? Remember, we're planting that seed. Okay. What did you like best about what you saw? What did you like best about the program? Whatever. What was your favorite part? More than likely, whatever it is that they say, you are going to agree with. Okay. If it's the fact that they can earn money from their phone, you probably like that too, right? If it's the fact that they can get their account for free, you probably like that too, right? If it's the fact that they can earn money on the compensation plan, you probably like that too. So at that point, you're going to agree with them, right? You're more than likely going to agree with them and say, I love that part too, right? Are there any further questions or does this all make sense to you? Any further questions or does this all make sense to you? No, it makes sense. Great, right? At this point, that's when you want to get them on the phone. Move them over to the phone if you have not already. The point where I like to get people on the phone and if needed, get a 3-way call going, right? Is when I say, what was your favorite part? And they respond, then I say, do you have time for a quick phone call? Boom, I get them on the phone. Now I'm having this conversation because again, building a relationship via voice is a lot easier than doing this via text, right? So get them on the phone. Now I have them on the phone, asking them if this makes sense, right? Now we're closing it, okay? Does this make sense to you or do you have any further questions? No further questions. And then as a matter of fact, here's another close right here. Where is it? It's on our website. And I'm actually going to start implementing this for the foreign exchange, okay? Right here. This one. Questions to close. As a matter of fact, this may be a stronger close than what I have, okay? How much would you have to make to be on a part-time basis? So remember, you're asking them for their favorite part, agreeing with them, getting on the phone with them, and now you're in a conversation with them on the phone, okay? If you need to get somebody on a three-way call so that we can do the close for you, just let us know. How much would you like to make on a part-time basis to make this business worthwhile? Let them answer. Don't say anything. Let them answer. $500 a month, $1,000 a month, whatever. How many hours per week are you willing to dedicate to this business, right? Is it 5 hours a week? Maybe people only have an hour a day. Is it 20 hours a week because now they were laid off and they can do part-time basis? Is it 40 hours a week because they no longer have a job, right? And now they can fully dedicate their time to this. Whatever it is, let them answer, okay? Write down their answers as you're asking this. How many months are you willing to give to develop to reach that $500 a month mark, right? How many months? Because are they expecting this tomorrow? Are they expecting it in 30 days? Are they expecting it in 60 days? What is that benchmark? You need to know. And here's the close. All right, so Kathy, I'm just using Kathy as an example. So Kathy, if I could show you how to make an extra $500 a month while only working 20 hours a week over the course of the next 30 days, and we decide to take you on board, would there be anything else that you would need to know right now before we got started? And be quiet. Don't brain vomit right here. Do not let the silence get you uncomfortable, okay? Do not let the silence get you so uncomfortable that all of a sudden you speak, because whoever speaks right here loses. It's a wrap, okay? So let's kind of play this out, okay? Lindsay, can I get you to unmute yourself? Are you in a spot where you can unmute yourself?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to play this out with you, okay? You're going to be the prospect, and I'm going to be the closer, okay?
Okay.
So, hey, Lindsay, so let me ask you a question. How much would you have to make on a part-time basis to make this business worthwhile? What is that number? How much would you need to make?
$1,000 a month on a part-time basis.
Yeah, okay, $1,000 a month. All right, we can work with that. And how many hours a week are you willing to dedicate to this business?
Right now, I have maybe 5 or 10 hours a week.
Okay, all right, so you're looking to make about $100 to $200 an hour, it sounds like, right? If you're gonna dedicate 5 to 10 hours and you're wanting to make it. Yep, a week.
A week. Okay. See,
that's okay.
I should not talk and drive at the same time.
No, that's okay. Let's leave it at that. Okay, so
okay.
How many months are you willing to give it to develop to reach that $1,000 a month mark?
I can commit to probably 6 months of trying something out.
Okay, cool. So, all right. So, Lindsay, if I could show you how to make an extra $1,000 a month while only working 5 to 10 hours a week over the course of the next 6 months, and we decide to take you on board, would there be anything else that you would need to know right before we got started?
No, I think you've pretty much answered my questions today.
Fantastic. Then, I'm really excited because I think we can go ahead on, and based on your answers, we can actually take you on board. At this point, what I'm going to do is go ahead and get you the link, and I'll walk you through it while I have it on the phone. Does that sound like a good deal?
Yes.
Okay. You guys see how that went down? Just literally, you can have the script up. Yeah.
Oh. Yes. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm going to go ahead and mute you now, Lindsay. Thank you so much for helping. Okay.
Yep.
So do you guys see how that moves through, right? You want to be quiet at the very end and let them answer. Now, let's say that they did have more questions. Okay, let's say at the end you ask that and they do have more questions. Answer their questions. At that point, if you're attempting to close, right? If you're attempting to close, but it's not working, they're asking more questions, that may be when you want to get somebody on a three-way call with them. It's very easy to put someone on speaker and text your upline or text one of the leaders and go, hey, I need some, or put it in the group chat and say, I need someone for a three-way call ASAP. I have them on the line, right? And get somebody on the line to help you close that deal and answer the questions. They start asking questions saying, you know, let me actually get somebody on the line that can help you, that can help us answer those questions, because I want to make sure that we get you the right answers. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna get somebody on the line for us. Boom, right? Then you move over to a three-way call. Does that make sense to everybody? Any questions so far? Give me a 777 in the chat box if you guys are capturing everything that I'm putting down, because I'm literally giving you guys what I have done, what we are doing, what I have done in the network marketing space in general to build, you know, to get to be one of the top earners, you guys. So awesome. Okay, cool. All right. So now we have to understand also the power of three, right? So, and you guys, here's another script that you guys can use as well. You guys can use the one that I just taught you, or use this one too. But let me, this one. Okay, so remember, everyone should really have this. I actually I'm transferring mine over to a whiteboard, and I just removed my big paper one that I had, but everyone should have this, okay? First of all, let me show you guys what I do. So, I have so many notebooks next to me, but, and don't mind the scribble scrabble, because my toddlers actually get a hold of my notebook sometimes and do this. But this is something that you guys should really implement, okay? So let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen so you guys can see how I kind of keep track of things. First of all, you need to always know where you're going to place your next person. Always be one step ahead of the game, right? Number two, understand the power of three. You need three, and you need to help them get their three. That's it, right? Everybody wants a free account. I don't know anybody who says, no, I want to continue paying, right? Like, really, that's a fact. But no, I'm definitely not teaching them to. What do you mean, teaching who to trade? Let's see. Yeah, okay. Oh, my toddlers, believe it or not, they actually they do pay attention to what because I'll cast it to our TV. I'll cast the university stuff to our TV, and so they sit there and they do watch it with me. Be careful, I have a 6-year-old trading in no time, right? We have a 4-year-old, and I can imagine in 2 years she's going to be doing this. But okay, so this is what I do. Can you guys see my screen? So here I have main account, right? And actually I need to, this is not the updated one. This is obviously, I put the date here. Okay, and I actually moved through this, but date by date. So you guys can see here that on September 14th, 2020, this is where my numbers were at, okay? So this is how much I have, okay? And this is how much I need in order to get to the next level. Why is this so important, okay? When we write it down, essentially we are putting it into existence. Does that make sense to everybody? We need to put things into existence, okay? So I had founder 2000, which I was already at, okay? And then for founder 5000, then I needed 2 here, and I have already met the qualifications here. Now, all I'm doing is comparing it to the comp plan, right? And then that makes me founder 5000. And then we have, because I do have a couple different accounts, right? Or I'm sorry, that's for founder, yeah, that's for founder 2000. So it's really important for you guys to have this and keep it. Like I said, I'm moving it over to a whiteboard because I need to be able to see it. I need to be able to count down, right? Because mentally that does something to you when you're like, okay, I need 10 people. And all of a sudden you see that number going down. I need 9 people. I need 8 people. I need 7 people. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm so close, right? That right there. Yeah, let me try to share it again. So all I'm doing, you guys, is see if it can focus. All I'm doing is in the first box, I write down my first leg. So this would be your left leg. This is my middle leg, and this is my right leg, okay? And all I'm doing is on this one, this is what I have, and then this is what I need to get to the next level, okay? Have and then need, and I'm just writing down what I need per leg, right? Because you guys know that based on the comp plan, it has to stay balanced, right? So 40%, 40%, 20%, right? So that's all I'm doing there, okay? So really important for you guys to write that, because that essentially becomes a goal. And when you write down a goal, again, it becomes achievable, right? You can actually obtain something. And then again, mentally, it does something for you inside your brain where you go, it's not impossible. It really isn't impossible. If your goal is to get the 3 and free, then I want you to, on a whiteboard or on your notepad or whatever, I want you to write need 3, right? Or need 1, 1, 1. And on the bottom of that, you're going to start counting down. Okay, I only need this many. I only need this many, right? And you start seeing that countdown and you get your own self pumped up. You go from 3 to needing 1. That's a lot easier, right? Now, with that being said, you also need to keep it in perspective as far as not making the goal so big. So let's say I needed 100. Okay, cool. I need 100. But today, my goal is to have at least 1. So I can knock down that 100 to 99. And now that becomes a more obtainable goal. Okay. So a couple things that I want to go over before we get off here, because I know I'm hitting my time limit, is number 1, there's a 40-40-20 rule. That means that you have to have 40% of your volume in leg 1, 40% of your volume in leg 2, and 40% in leg 3. Okay, this is you right here. Okay, this is going to be you at the top. Then you're going to have your 3 personally sponsored, right? This is what gets your account free. Now, in order to get your account free, you actually have to have a personally sponsored in each leg, meaning in your left leg, your middle leg, and your right leg. You cannot have all 3 personally sponsored and throw them all into leg 1. Doesn't work like that, okay? It has to be 1 in each leg. From there, you're going to help, let's say leg 1 is Joe, okay? You're going to help Joe also write down his 40 names. How long did that take us, you guys? It took us 8 minutes, 8 minutes to write down 40 names. Okay, you're going to help number 1, we're calling him Joe right now. You're going to help Joe write down his 40 names and get his account free. Then let's say right here in number 2, you put Jane. Okay, you're also going to help Jane gain her 3. Okay, then right here, let's say you have I don't know, Sophia. I'm just making up names, okay? You're going to help Sophia gain her 3 and get their accounts free. What happens here? The minute you have this, your account is officially making $500. Remember, we said the leaders on the line said the most powerful thing is helping others also achieve their goals, right? This is where it starts to become powerful. What are they going to do? Now they're going to rinse and repeat. They can repeat the process. Why? Because we have our website. We have all the tools that they need, right? So now Joe is going to help this person get their 3, this person get their 3, and so on and so forth. What inevitably happens to this account? Making $1,000 a month, right? You have to help others in order to help yourself. And the minute that you realize that that is what is required in order for you to move up, it'll go a lot faster for you, okay? You don't have to do this by yourself. You just have to teach others how to do what you just did. That's it. Any questions? And if you guys want to know where to find this document, all you need to do is go to presentation.epictrading.com, and it's actually right here on the Power of 3 document, okay? Any questions? Go ahead and type them in the chat box. Are you guys just trying to soak it all in? Okay, cool. All right, guys. Well, that is my time. Again, my name is Amy Cabrerra. Give me a 333 in the chat box if you guys actually got something out of this training. If you guys are going to go and implement, I want you to go and message 20 people today and 20 people tomorrow. If you're on the West Coast, if you're on the East Coast, then start it tomorrow morning and get your 40 done tomorrow, you guys. Let's start seeing some results. I want to see it in our chat box, in our Telegram chat box. Share your results. What did you do, right? What was the results? How many people did you talk to? How many relationships were you able to build? And from there, remember, know your numbers. From there, how many people were you able to get over to the opportunity call, right? And from there, how many people did you close? It's all about a numbers game, okay? With that said, you guys, we have a presentation, the opportunity call starting right now in about 4 minutes. I hope you guys have a blessed day, and let's make this week better on purpose. Bye, everybody.